Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Katie and welcome to another bookish adventure. So today we are talking my January wrap up and February TBR. In January I read 2 books, more than I actually thought would happen, considering when I got so many weeks into January and realised I'm nowhere near finishing this book, I thought, okay, January is going to be all about Tower of Dawn. So my first read was Tower of Dawn, and if you haven't read my book review on it, then feel free to do it. There are a lot of feels and a lot of emotions. So I gave Tower of Dawn 3 stars. I have like not a love-hate issue with this book, but a general issue. It is just so much more low-key than the other books. It is just, yeah, on such a different wavelength. Had I known that, I probably would have just enjoyed it so much more. Probably when I read it again, I will really enjoy it because I will know what to expect and I will know that it will be a lot more chill. So the general premise of that book was that we were following Kale whilst he was on his journey to be healed and also to try and raise an army to help Ilian. So it takes place at the same time as the previous book. So obviously Kale was missing from that book and he is mentioned a lot, and obviously it was meant to be a novella but then became a whole book. And it is an amazing book for sort of character development and personal development and growth and just general feels. Like, oh my god, the feels is the book that Kale deserves. However, it is just so different from the other books. It is a bit like, wait, what? Huh? So I wish I'd known that going into it, because I definitely would have enjoyed it more. The more I think about it and the more I talk about it, I'm like, oh my god, no, it was really good. However, I have to go on that initial, as I was reading it in the moment, and in that moment there was a lot of disappointment, which sucks. I also listened to it on audiobook, which I really liked because I liked the woman's voice. She had like a nice like snark and tone with certain things, and then when I was reading the book I could hear her talking, and especially as things were building in the mornings and I was getting ready and we're heading towards that point where stuff was really happening. It was really nice to sort of have that, oh, and her voice was just really quite like calm, but all this like shit is going down. The second book I finished was Delirium by Lauren Oliver. So I did not expect to finish this. I literally started it 2 weekends ago, I think, and then this week that has just been, I've literally just demolished it. If you haven't watched my weekly reading vlog from Thursday, that covers me reading it and finishing it. Technically I didn't finish it during it because I finished it on the train on Thursday. So that book was given to me last Easter, and yeah, it's taken me a while to read it. Found out that the book was released in 2011. Did not know that. It is an old book. I enjoyed that book so much more than I thought I would. I think I gave it 4 stars. Probably, yeah, because it was so unexpected and I was just like, oh, okay. So it is set in a world where love is a disease and you have to have a cure when you are 18. And yeah, like anything, all these emotions that are related to do with love, like desire and just any kind of just personality, is gone from the world. So, you know, people don't have connections with their children. It's just weird, but so good. And the more I was reading this book, the more I just wanted to know about the history of everything that happened and just all the side effects of what happens from having the cure and these, like, you know, these feelings that people have, because everyone just looks kind of blank, and it's just there's meant to be this idea that you will be safe and secure and everything will just be great. Yeah, I now really do actually want to read the trilogy. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. If you've ever seen the film Equilibrium with Christian Bale, it is very much on the same wavelength of that, where they take drugs to suppress feelings, whereas in this you have a cure, and I think like they cut out a piece of your brain. So it is really good and I would really recommend it because you've got that dystopian aspect slightly. You've got a very much big on the romance side, but it's not just the romance, it is discovering this world around her that is meant to be banned and bad for you and scary, and yeah, it is so much better than I thought it would be. So I now need to meet up with my friend and be like, give me the last 2 books. So going into February, this has been a struggle. So I knew one book I definitely was going to read, and that is the Shrike the Shadows, and that was gifted to me by one of the authors, A.M. Wright. Yeah, I was contacted in January, or was it December? I don't even know anymore. Basically asking me to read and review the book before it's released. So I've been asked to do this before, but never before the release. So I feel quite like this is lovely. So yeah, and it is a Hansel and Gretel retelling. So we live in a world where Hansel and Gretel, or Hans and Greta, they live in this village village, slightly on the outskirts, and basically there's the Shrike, the witch that lives in the woods, and she takes men who may or may not be innocent, and basically you know when your husband or son or whoever's been taken because you find a heart on your doorstep. So this is gonna go the way of kind of just batshit frenzy, and the vicar, I feel I started it today, but the vicar is gonna have a lot to do with it, and I think this is gonna come down to the kind of fingers get pointed. So Hans and Greta will be accused of witchcraft, and they're given a choice: you either burn at the stake or you flee for your lives. So they go and they leave, and they just find themselves abandoned and going into the forest where the witch lives. And then once they're in the forest, lots of things, wild creatures, scary monsters, hallucinations, and the witch itself are in there. So I'm guessing that this is going to be a book that is going to be sort of them discovering the truth behind the witch, why she's there, and just what the hell happened. Very interested in this. I've only ever read one other Hansel and Gretel retelling, and it was just one book, and I really did love it because I liked it because the witch, it was someone who lived, she was a chocolatier who lived in the forest, and she made candy. So I really like that kind of that switch on it. But I really like this idea. I like the idea that they, because they're not really part of the village, and the vicar is a dick, is what I've just discovered within the first 7%. Yeah, I think it is very easy for the blame to get cast on them. So I'm very interested in reading that. That is going to be my main read for the month. I'll be reading that on Kindle. Problems arose when I knew I was going to have problems. I knew I would have problems because I have given control of my TBR to Gavin. I knew a problem would occur. I didn't think it would be the second month of the year. I am a mood reader. I am really a mood reader. If I don't want to read what's on my year TBR, I find something else. I also pick books based on the month. Like, it is February. It's a short month. I won't have a lot of time to read stuff. I always try and book a week of holiday for my birthday. So I had to message Gavin, and I was like, you need to pick some more books because I'm not feeling any of them at the moment. I'm not ready to start Discworld. I'm not ready to go into the more literature. And I think the problem is it's my birthday month, and I like to pick books like Disney or like fairy tale retellings. And so I'm like, it's my birthday month. I want to read something fun. So this is hard for me right now. So Gavin has come back to me with more options, and the more options are Heroes, the second Greek mythology book by Stephen Fry. Very big one, probably not going to pick that one. The Mist in the Flame, which I am liking. Next, Six of Crows, a book that I'm constantly told I need to read. He actually picked the novella of the Dorothy Must Die series. So he picked No Place Like Oz, which is the first novella. Of those, I think I am leaning more to The Flame in the Mist personally. I think I have said before, ever since I read Rebel of the Sands, I've been wanting to read books that have that otherness. So in that case, it is more Middle Eastern take on it. So I ended up buying We Hunt the Flame. I've also bought the other book by this author, The Wrath and the Dawn. So I've been wanting to branch out and read other books. I am very much leaning towards her. I will probably, I think, pick The Flame in the Mist, and I will also listen to that on audiobook, and when we go away I will then be able to take my Kindle and that book as well, and possibly a third. But yeah, I knew I was gonna hit this point of problems. Didn't think it would be so soon. I don't know, it just kind of, when I realized I was finishing Delirium, I was like, oh okay, I need to start looking at what else I'm gonna pick. And I thought, well, obviously I'm gonna read Shrike the Shadows, and then I was like, crap, what else am I gonna read? And you know, just scrolling through the list of books, and I'm just like, don't want to read any of those yet. I'm just not mentally just there, and I know it sounds stupid, but I am a mood reader. So that is today's video done with. I hope you liked it. If you did, then hit that like button and show me your thumbs. As always, comment below, what are you planning to read for February? If you're new, then hit that subscribe button and ding that bell and never miss a video. I hope you had a great weekend, and I will see you on Thursday for another weekly reading vlog.